wanted to do something that my childhood self would have been really excited about. You know, like as an artist kid, you're always like, whoa, Van Gogh is the coolest. I want to be like him. And then you realize how troubled he was. We're gonna do this today. I did it in my sketchbook, which you don't have to do, but that's just what I did. We're gonna go talk about the materials and get into the tutorial. So let's get started. This is new, but I thought it would be fun. Everybody loves Van Gogh. Who doesn't love Van Gogh? Everybody loves Van Gogh. So I'm gonna get started talking about the materials really quick that I have. I am working in my sketchbook today. This is a watercolor sketchbook, so the paper's really thick, which is, I've got an array of brushes. I like to use these like flat ones mostly, but I've got some detail pointed ones here. I've got a paper towel, I've got some water, and I've got something to mix on. I'm just using a little ceramic plate today. And I have my reference photo back here, so it might be good for you to have it pulled up too. Just find on Google a picture of Starry Night and just have it next to you while you're working. Let's talk about our colors. We have white, we have cyan, we have quinacridone crimson, we have ultramarine blue, and we have yellow medium azo. You don't have to have the exact colors as me. If you have a blue, a yellow, and a red and a white, you're gonna be just fine. I like to have another blue that's a little bit brighter handy, but you're gonna be okay. You don't need those exact colors. The other color that we're gonna need though is burnt sienna. This is gonna seem a little crazy, but we wanna have a little bit of an undercolor to work on top of. If you don't have this, you can mix up a little bit of like an orangey cream color with yellow, red, white, and a tiny little bit of blue. So let's get a little bit of this on our palette. I just wanna do like a quick wash of this. Big brush here, and I'm gonna get that a little bit wet. It's gonna look super orange. It's gonna like blow your mind. I'm actually gonna add a little bit of white to it too. Get a good amount of water on here. So just like this cream color, it's very thin, and I'm just gonna pull that on there, covering the whole thing up. Let that dry for a second. I'm gonna hold it down just so I can dry a little flat. Get little fingerprint dots on it. Woo! Stay flat. Stay. Tried a little bit. Looking good. I'm gonna take one of my smaller brushes over here, like this smallish flat one. I'm gonna put water on this burnt sienna again, and I'm gonna start kind of sketching out where some of our big items are. There's gonna be a moon over here, and this is just to give me an idea of what's where. There is hills, mountains here. There's some shrubby looking stuff. And there's some like little houses and stuff that look a lot more geometric than the rest of the painting, including a little steeple. And of course we have the iconic swirls in the background. The foreground has this big wiggly looking tree in it. There we go. Okay, that is sketched out. We have a little bit of color to work on top of, so that when we're painting, maybe some of that warm color will show through and it'll look super cute. We're gonna do a couple different colors because this is a very layered piece. Ultramarine, red, and yellow. Mix that up. And I'm not gonna add any white to it yet. I just wanna make this like dark color. So we've got this dark blue here. Let's mix up a slightly lighter blue, maybe add a little bit of that cyan. It's gonna be our lightest one. And then let's go for like a medium, and in between. Come here, blue. Jeez, it's chunky. There we go, okay. So I've got 3 blues now that I'm gonna work with for our darkest parts of our sky. And I'm gonna take one of my brushes. Let me choose real quick. I think I'm gonna do this angled flathead. I'm gonna try it and see if I like it. Go in, add a little bit of water, go into our blue. I'm gonna start with this tapping motion just like this to create that classic Van Gogh look. Gorgeous impressionist style. And I'm going to be leaving the parts where the stars are a little bit blank just so I still know where they are. I'm going to cover them a little bit, making my brush strokes along with the curve of this swirl, just like he has them. There's a lot of motion in his paintings. Now remember, take your time to do this. There is no need to rush. You can take your time, take a break, do what you need to do.
And don't get too hung up on trying to make it exactly like his painting was or like my painting is. Be comfy in the spot you're in as a painter to get your head off some stressful things that might be happening right now. I know there's some darker blues over on these hills over here. Now, these guys are probably drying up because I took a lot of time, so I'm gonna add a little bit of water to them, wash off my brush, and I'm gonna go in with this lighter blue. I'm actually gonna add a little bit of white to it too. Maybe a little more red. I feel like Van Gogh stuff is looking a little more purpley than mine. And I'm gonna start putting in some of these brush strokes. Remember, it's okay to cover some of our shapes that we blocked in. This is a really relaxing painting. I didn't realize it was going to be so chill when I started this. It feels good. Have some of these go through these big swirls, but I need to go in with a lighter color, that's for sure. Okay, I'm gonna pull out some light blue. I'm just gonna take this blue and I'm gonna add more white. There we go. And we're gonna go into the light areas here. Quick flick brush motion using the flat part of my brush. Taking a little bit of this light blue and I'm starting to do a little bit around where the stars are going to be. I realized I made a mistake. When I was outlining these, put them up a little too high. I actually want more of this yellow that's going in there, so I'm going to cover that up. Let's just cover that baby up. That's the fun part of acrylics, is that when you make a mistake, it's almost immediately dry, and you could just cover that right up. I'm gonna go in with this medium blue we've got here. So I might actually switch my brush to something just a little bit smaller. This guy. Thin, rounded brush, and go in and start getting more detail. I'm gonna make sure this is a little bit wet so my brush is flowing nicely. Switching to this color here. Just get something a little different going on. Getting it nice and wet so my brush is flowing good. Get some more light colors going. And I'm going in with our light color. You can see in the swirls it's very, very light, almost white. So I'm going to take mostly white and just add in a tiny bit of our blue over here. Look at that. Ooh, I love that. That's looking really cute. I also want to use this light blue to this area. If you're looking at the reference photo where it starts to be lighter and yellow, where it looks like it's light just above these mountains, I'm going to start doing that with just some of this. I know it's going to eventually move to yellow, but I want to get a little color texture to see things going. Doing the super light color around some of my stars. I'm actually going to get a smaller brush for this guy too. Let me get this guy, it's real thin there. Go back in with our super dark color. I'll start adding areas that have a lot of contrast to them, like here. right, I'm liking how that looks mostly. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna mix up a kind of like tealy kind of color. I'm seeing it a little bit in here. It's gonna be yellow with some blue in it. So I'm actually just gonna take yellow and add it right into this color here. Oh no, I have light, oh no, from my window here. Hopefully that's okay. Talking about our mint, our green there. Starting to bring that around on our little stars. Bring this mint into this area. I'm gonna go back in with a smaller brush for this yellow that I mixed up here. And I'm gonna add like almost straight white. I'm gonna take pure white, mix a tiny bit of this. It's just whatever's left on my brush. This star here has a lot of white around it. Light yellow, so I'm just gonna take this yellow here and add more white. Oh, now the light's coming in there. Oh my God. So we're gonna need our dark yellow to make our moon and some of these other stars. Yellow and red, not too much though. Red can be very overpowering, so you gotta be careful with it. And I'm gonna take a little bit of this blue here too. Take that guy, draw out our little moon. And I'm gonna add some light yellow, like whitish, to some of these areas. I wanna move on to the next part, and I can always go back in with details later because I can cover up whatever I wanna cover up. And now this is where we're gonna actually use some black. I almost never use black, but here it is. I want it to be like not straight black though. I'm gonna mix it in with this like color here. And I wanna make it like maybe a little blue-greenier. Okay, I'm back. My card filled up. So there wasn't any more room left to record anything, so I had to go in and delete some stuff, and then now I'm back. And where were we? Dark areas. Ow! Ooh! I just slammed my little finger against the little table. Yachies. A little bit of a mess today. That's okay. I'm messy. I'm messy, and that's okay. That's just who I am. So I'm taking this weird, super dark green I mixed up. It was black, it was yellow, and it was a little bit of this blue here. And I'm gonna start to draw out where this funky little tree was. Now it's kind of wiggly. It's got some weird spikes on it. Bunch of weird funky pieces on it. Got a little bit voluptuous. She's got some curves on her. Look at her. Very hourglass. Looking good, honey. Wow, that like made a huge difference in the painting. I feel like it looks way more like a Van Gogh painting now. And I also want to add this color to these outlined areas. Got like this like, looks like a butte, like in Cars, a butte. Like, you know, when like Mater makes a joke about the butt. Wait, is that real? Or did I make that up? Remember, it does not have to be perfect. I'm kind of gonna be cutting off a little bit of the village a little bit. One, because I'm lazy and I don't like to draw buildings. I like to draw landscapes. And two, because I'm running out of room here. The buildings are hard. Do I want to do them? I do want to do them. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do some quick outlines for the buildings. We're not gonna worry too much about making them perfect. We're just having fun here. So we're gonna go in with our smaller brush, get that loaded with some of that dark paint. Really the only big deal part is this like steeple. I wanna make sure I get that in there. We're gonna do a dark blue first. I put this ultramarine here, so we have that already going. I'm gonna get a little bit wet. Good amount of this, not a good amount, a careful amount of our red. And we're gonna keep some of this, but then we're gonna add some white. Some white to that. I changed my mind. I'm gonna add a little more red in some spots. Yeah, there we go. I just like that. So let's start adding this dark blue on. I can see that these hills are light at first and then they have the darker blue streaks on it. So I'm gonna do light blue on these hills first. Boop. And we'll start adding that texture, that Van Gogh texture. Okay, now I'm seeing we've got some green going in here. So I want to mix up green, and I'm actually just going to use this dark blue here, and I'm going to add some yellow to it. And a little bit of red too, mute it down. And I want to just kind of fill in the areas that have this green in it. Not worrying about doing that stroke technique yet, because we're going to add texture on top. Our green here, start adding a little texture to this tree. And now let's mix up, let's just add some white to this green. Add some white, maybe a little more blue and a little more yellow. Take this light green and start doing these little bushes. It's like a little curve motion. Also adds like a shadow by taking a black and curving up on the bottom of these. Oops, I had too much. I'm gonna add in some more of these dark details on this town because I can. And I'll add a bush here and a bush there. This dark blue. Boop, 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 boop. That's a bush, I think. Probably. Take a little bit of our blue, add in some white. Fill in the steeple here. So I've got some light blue on this house there, some roof. That's what our town's looking like, I guess. And I want to add maybe some little windows. A little bit of light coming through some windows. So I'm going to take yellow, and a little bit of white. Light green there. I'm going to add some red. I want to get like a brown. So I'm going to add green and blue and red and yellow. I'm just going to mix it until it's this gunky, vomity color. Yuck. But this is the color I want to add some texture to my tree here. My battery's dying, so we're gonna go quick like. This is like the basics of what it is, and now I'm gonna go in and put in my personal details to finish this up. And you can go in on your painting and just add all the details that you want too. Just like bring it to a level that really makes you happy. Cover up what you want to cover up, fix what you want to fix, and just go for it. And that's what I'm going to do too. So I'm going to go into that right now. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial for a little Starry Night Van Gogh painting. Also, if you like what I do and you like my tutorials, consider supporting me on Patreon. It helps me be able to paint more and make more videos, and there's cool rewards on Patreon too, like the full-length version of this tutorial, unedited, nothing sped up. Consider that if you like me and happen to have $1 or $2 you want to give to a poor, ugly little creature. I have more tutorials on the way, and I have more tutorials on my channel right now if you're interested, and I will see you in the next video.